Welcome to DeFi Crypto today's daily news or daily updates. Not sure what to call them yet. Uh, all right. So hopefully a lot of you are going to show up in the chat room. We're going to start talking about today's main news in a few minutes. We're going to keep this one relatively short. It's not going to last more than an hour. I'm doing it a little bit earlier today than I did the rest of the week, simply because I'm going to be busy in about an hour. And I want to make sure that I'm doing daily news every day. What's going on here? Is it working or not? Okay. Studio, come on. Okay, we are live. Okay, so that's good. Some of you will see us. Okay, all right, so if you check the home page, you should be able to see the previous episodes of the live sessions. The live streams, they're right here. These are the latest uploads and the most popular. These are members only videos, and these are the most popular uploads. If there are sections you'd like me to put here, I can do that. I can add some special playlists or whatever. But you have access to all the playlists here. There are lots of them because we made over 200 videos already. And you can play with all these and find information that you're looking for. Okay, there's a lot of people who keep asking me, have you done a video about this? Have you done a video about that? Most of the time I did. If you're on a computer web browser, typically there's a search function somewhere like this. On mobiles, you're not going to see that, unfortunately. All right. So also, I'm not sure about the time, the best time to do these daily updates. I'm testing various times to see when we're getting the most views. At the moment, we're not getting a lot of people in the chat room, so I don't know if it's maybe it's too early. So you guys let me know and tell me the time zone you're at in the comments, and let me know when you prefer watching the news. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, as you probably know, there's a little bit of a crisis around Ukraine. Russia says, no, we're not invading. Everybody else is like, yeah, you're invading. And so it looks like there's a lot of tension right now. But yet again, don't believe everything you watch in the news, and don't believe everything people say, because there's usually more than one side to any story. There's a multiplicity of factors. And we're going to touch a little bit about that. Now, obviously, I'm not for Russia, invading Ukraine, or, I'm not Putin's biggest fan or anything like that. Definitely not. I don't want people to get into war and invasions and people killed for, whatever stupid reason people want to do that. So I'm not advocating anything in that regard. I'm not politically minded here, but I want people to be aware of the things that might be happening under the hood that the news may or may not tell you. So we're going to look at a few things that might be happening, and then you be the judge. You decide what's the truth and what's not. Okay, so this is a thing. The Russian side keeps accusing the U.S. of seeking to provoke a conflict in Ukraine. Okay, Vladimir Putin has been in politics for a very long time, and it seems that he's going to be in politics forever and ever. And the thing is, he's not a stupid man. You know, he's a dictator and all that. Okay, but he's not stupid. And he's very strategic in the way he talks and the way he acts. And so we have to look into this, okay? What's the truth there? Is the U.S. actually pushing Russia into a conflict? Or is Russia, staging a conflict? Okay? And we're going to look into this and why this might be happening. There's always a reason for things to happen in politics. Nothing, as my old history professor, who's probably dead by now because I haven't seen him in 40 years, what he said to me is that nothing happens by chance in politics. And I believe that was FDR in the US that said the same thing. Okay? Politics is a game, and politics is everything in politics happen for a reason. Okay? There's no accident in politics. All right. So let's see what. So right now, Russia claims that they want to go through a diplomatic way with the European allies and the US and NATO and all that stuff, which is probably a good idea to avoid conflict. But here, where we see, and this is from The Guardian, but if you check the news, several news media, Western news media obviously, claim that Russia is planning a very graphic fake video as a pretext for Ukraine invasion. So US officials claimed this, and this was reported in the news quite a bit. All right, so officials say they have evidence of a plot to mock up scenes of attack using corpses, Turkish-made drones, and actors playing mourners. All right. Now, you have to understand that the United States made a lot of claims for a lot of wars. And some of those claims turned out not to be true. I don't know if you remember Saddam Hussein and his weapons of mass destruction. And the US officials said, oh, we are 100% sure that we have evidence that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. And then it turned out 20 odd years later that that wasn't true. Okay, so always take these information with a grain of salt and consider whether or not they're telling us the truth. Because politicians are politicians, no matter where they are, in what country and in what time period. Politicians lie. And if you want to know if a politician is lying, watch the lips, and if the lips are moving, he's lying. Okay, and that's for any politician in any country, any political party, anywhere, anytime. Okay, they always have something to cover up. They always have an agenda, whether it's a good agenda, whether it's a bad agenda, whatever. Okay, whether they really want to help the people or not, or they just want to put money in their pockets, they never tell the truth. It just, because politics is a game. Okay, it's some sort of poker game. Okay, where you try to hide your cards all the time. All right. So, on the other hand, if this thing can get out, Vladimir Putin says the West is trying to lure Russia into a war using Ukraine. So the Kremlin chief makes his first public comment on the crisis in nearly 6 weeks as Ukraine looks to boost its armed forces by 100,000 troops. British PM Boris Johnson accuses Moscow of holding a gun to Ukraine's head with NATO security demands. All right. Now, if you watch any of Putin's speeches, they're always similar in the sense that, well, our people, how do you call it? Our colleagues in the West have been doing this and have been doing that, and we believe that's not right. We believe our colleagues in the West have been doing illegal things, and we believe our colleagues in the West are luring us into doing this and that, and we believe our colleagues in the West are threatening the Russian nation, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. And it turns out that some of that stuff happens to be true from time to time. Okay, so always take everything with a grain of salt. Okay, we never know exactly who's telling the truth when. Okay, there's a lot of lies, a lot of deceit, and a lot of poker game face. Okay, going on. Okay, because there's always something else underneath that they want to do. They're showing you a certain thing, but the truth is under the table somewhere. And that's where the real action is, okay? When there's a war somewhere, somebody benefits, okay? Somebody's making money out of this some way or another, okay? What do we have here? Hello, Roger. Hi, what do you think of Russia's reverse its decision on banning crypto? I think it's good. I'm going to explain a little bit what I think about Russia and crypto in a few minutes, if you keep watching. It's very interesting. Russia is very well positioned to do very well with crypto, actually. All right, so as you can see, the West says that Putin is staging something fake. And Putin says the West is pushing Russia into a conflict. Okay, so who's right? Right? You guys decide, not me. Now, here's what I think might be possibly happening. This is the real news. Okay, there's going to be a closed board meeting on February 14 of the Board of the Governors of the Federal Reserve System in the United States. Federal Reserve in the United States is the largest central bank in the world. It's the one with the most debt. And the US dollar is still, for now, the biggest currency used around the planet for international trade, for now. And a lot of countries are not so happy that the United States dollar is still the major trade currency. Okay, Russia and China and many other countries, Iran and so on, would like to be able to use other currencies or gold or Bitcoin or whatever they want, okay, instead of the US dollar. Okay, so that there could be something going on there as well. Now, these guys at the Federal Reserve System are sitting between a rock and a hard place right now. What's going on is that they printed way too much money in the last 2 years. As I said before, they printed about 50% of all the money that's in existence in the last 2 years. Okay, that's a lot. And for a long time we were saying, okay, watch it with the printing press because you're going to create a ton of inflation. And they kept saying, don't worry about it, it's under control, it's under control. Okay, all right, and then the next thing we know, we are at 7.5% inflation in the United States, and that's the official figures. And a lot of people are claiming that the real figures are probably a lot higher, more like 12%. Okay? So the Federal Reserve right now has to do something because inflation jumped up too fast. They're going to have to raise interest rates. Because if you don't raise interest rates to match at least the inflation, well, then you're just losing money by holding the money. You need to earn at least the same as inflation just to break even. Okay? And later I'm going to show you some places in crypto where you can beat inflation with stable coins. I keep talking about those same places, but it's worth repeating over and over and over because I want to make sure that everybody is aware of those places. And if you so choose, you can decide to put your money there if you want to beat inflation. So I just want to give you tools because I think that the conflict with Ukraine has a lot more to do with inflation and the Federal Reserve than anything else. Okay? Why? Because it's a distraction. We're going to play tough over there in Ukraine, okay? And we want people to focus on that. Meanwhile, we're trying to, figure out what to do with that crazy high inflation that we just created by printing too much money. Because if we raise the interest rates too fast, we're going to crash the economy, and they want to avoid that. And in my personal opinion, I think it's better to crash the economy very quick so that the system resets naturally, okay? So we create a big money contraction. It doesn't last long, just a few months, and then things come back. Because those are natural cycles. And when you overprint money to try to overcompensate for potential crashes that are supposed to be coming naturally, the rubber band at one point just snaps. Okay? You can't just stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch forever. It has to come back. And that's what a crash is. Okay? You want to crunch the money supply. And they don't want to do that because they were told in university that it's a bad thing. Okay, they all follow Keynesian economics. Okay, which is print more money. That's what it boils down to. Okay, so all the politicians we have in the West right now follow that trend. Okay, of printing more money to solve every single problem, instead of letting the natural economic cycles come and go. Okay, so we need to have these crashes from time to time. We need them. Let's look at the question. What do you think of the scams? There's so much scam in DeFi. Yeah, there are scams, and that's why I try to open people's eyes on scams. And I try to show people how to spot a scam and how to, screen out the bad stuff and stick to stuff that's not a scam. But even if it's not a scam, you can still lose all your investment, okay? Nothing is 100% safe in crypto, okay? So try not to jump, head first into the latest and brightest, newest protocol that just came out. If you want to try it with a little bit of money, like put $50 there and see what happens, that's fine. It's a gamble, okay? But in terms of scams, if you don't know if it's a scam or not, well, presume it is a scam. Okay, and then avoid it and put your money at places that have a better reputation. And we're going to show you a couple today. All right, so my idea to get back to this Federal Reserve thing is that I think that in part, one of the issues with Ukraine is that it's a cover-up for what is actually going on. And what's actually going on is that we're going to enter a period of very, very high inflation, which we have not seen for 40 years, but I remember because I was there, because I'm that old. Okay, I remember I used to work in a bank back in the 80s, and we used to have savings account that gave us 15%. Okay, so you just have, like, you had your passbook, you deposit money in there, and they give you 15% a year on your savings. Okay, I think we're going back to that. So at some point, like right now, the Federal Reserve is going to try to hold off raising the interest rate as long as possible, because they want to attenuate a major market crash that they expect is going to happen if they do that, because the money supply is going to contract and all that jazz. But I think they should just raise up the interest rate very fast, contract the economy very quickly, and then everything resets. It's like a computer reboot. Okay, and then everything comes back. Okay, and within a year we're back to normal. Maybe even 6 months we're back to normal. Okay, I think that would be the best thing, but they're not going to do that. Who listens to me, right? But what they're going to try to do is probably raise the interest rates a little bit, almost every month this year. Every month or every couple of months, they're going to raise it by, I don't know, 0.5%, 0.5%, 0.5%. And by the end of the year, we're going to be at close to 5-6% base interest rates. That's my expectation. I don't know exactly if that's what they're going to do, but that's my expectation. All right, so the next thing on the agenda, what is this? Okay, what did I see here? There was an article here, now it's gone. Yeah, this part here is very interesting. It says, Russia has areas in Siberia with huge hydro overcapacity, with electric costs no more than 5 cents per kilowatt. They can outmine any industrial country, and they will run state-sponsored mining under KGB, whatever control. Coins will be used for crime in the West. I don't care if the coins are used for crime or not. But what's important is that because Russia is so huge and it has so much hydropower overcapacity, they could mine Bitcoin forever and produce a very large amount of Bitcoin for their own country, which they could use for whatever they want to use it for. Okay? And that could be part also of the problem that we're seeing with Ukraine, is that if the Russian government decides to mine Bitcoin in large quantities, you would have a lot of Bitcoin available to do international trade instead of using the US dollar. Now you have to remember that every time the United States went to war, it was because the country did not want to use the US dollar for something. Okay? When Gaddafi got assassinated, it's because Gaddafi in Libya said he wanted to create a gold standard currency for Africa. As soon as that was revealed, he was shot. Okay? Iran is not a friend of the United States because they don't want to use the US dollar for international trade. They want to sell their oil for gold or other currencies. Okay? Similarly, North Korea, they don't want to use the US dollar, and so on. So most of the countries that the United States think are enemies are countries that don't want to use the US dollar for international trade. Okay, there's a big correlation between those two factors. Okay, so that might be part of the thing. Okay, that's going on with Russia and Ukraine and all that. It might be. All right, now other issue. Now if you look at it right now, despite all the tension in Ukraine, the fear and greed index for Bitcoin is pretty neutral. So people are not that scared of Ukraine at the moment. I mean, the war could start tomorrow for all I know. But right now, the sentiment on the market is pretty neutral, so people are not panicking very much about that. As soon as the Federal Reserve talks about raising interest rates again, you're going to see fear over here. You're going to see that. All right. So, and if we look at Bitcoin, well, actually, it's going up again now. So it went down for most of the day, but not that much. Nothing spectacular. All right, questions. What do we have here? How are you doing? Which is the DeFi project you're most excited about Q2? After such a turmoil in Wonderland, most of us would be in above 70% loss. Time to DCA, maybe. Right now, because the market is very uncertain, because interest rates will go up, and most likely the stock market is going to go down further this year, it will also have an impact on the crypto market. So every time the Federal Reserve is actually going to raise interest rates, the time before that, you're going to see the market tanking if they expect the rates to go up. Once the rates actually go up, the fear is materialized, so it's not as fearful anymore. Okay? So then the market might recover a little bit. And then they're going to talk about raising interest rates again. Then it's going to be a little bit like this. So it's going to, I expect it's going to be like this most of the year. Okay? So because of that, what I am doing right now is I put about 50% of all my assets, my crypto assets, I keep them in stable coins. I put them in interest-bearing accounts that I'm going to show you in a few minutes on protocols that I trust because they've been evaluated and they got very good safety ratings. Okay, and that's what I'm doing. When it comes to exciting stuff, okay, like most of the projects that I talk about on in my regular videos, okay, I put a tiny amount of money in those. Like I'm talking like $100, $200, $300, depending on how I feel about it, because many of them are brand new projects, and brand new projects to me are big gambles. It's like betting on a horse at the races. Okay? So consider that every project that is about a month old, 95% of them will not last 6 months. They're gonna die. Okay? Keep that in mind. Why? Because it's a new business. And most new businesses die within a year. Okay, that's just a fact of life. That's capitalism. Okay, most people start a business and it fails for whatever reason. Could be a bad product, bad code, hackers, developers that rug pulled you, market conditions that are terrible, protocol that doesn't have provide value. Whales that sucked all the money, a million factors. Okay. All right. So what's the next question? Right now, Wonderland. Okay. I don't. I would have to check. Yesterday, I couldn't check on my Twitter. It wasn't working well, but I forgot to check today. I don't know exactly where Wonderland is at right now. We're going to check in a minute. But all I know is that they're trying to change the management. Okay? And they really need to put experienced people in place at key strategic points. They need a good treasurer. Okay? Somebody to manage the $1 billion portfolio that they've got. And he needs to have very good experience. You need people to manage the team. Daniele is not a good manager. Daniele is a visionary. Okay, he knows, he's good at looking at a protocol, and he knows how to optimize it to make it as profitable as possible. He's very good at that. Okay, and he's a builder. He's an entrepreneur. He creates new things. Okay, but day-to-day management, I don't think is his forte. So, and he needs a PR team to handle, snafus like what happened with Sifu and everything. He needs people in place he needs a CTO, like a chief technology officer, to manage his development team, because the code has not been updated in months, and that's bad. Okay, you need to upgrade your code. You need because things change in DeFi every single day. All right, and you need to test. They're not testing the code. They need to test the code. There's a lot of things that they need to do. Okay, Daniel is busy doing one thing. Okay, and that's pushing the business forward, and that's his job. His job is not sweeping the floor of the computer room. Okay, other people need to take care of that. All right, so should we DCA this stuff? It's very risky, so it's up to you, but I wouldn't put a ton of money on Wonderland. I didn't put a ton of money on Wonderland when it started. I put what I thought was reasonable, okay, but it was a very small fraction of my portfolio. It's like 2-3% of my portfolio when I invested. Not a significant amount. Okay, why? Because it's new and it's risky. Okay, it's a great project, I think. Overall, I think it did very well, but the token tanked, and most people lost about 70 to 80%. Okay, so in terms of that was terrible, and the seafood thing was a total train wreck. But again, that's what I said. It's a new business. Most new business fail within a year. Although right now, I don't think this one should fail, because it's got a huge portfolio of $800 million right now, almost $1 billion. All right. Would you have a chance? Could you talk about avoiding the ERC20 gas fees for stablecoins? I'm trying to create positions on Anchor Mirror, but the gas fees are ridiculous. Well, what are you using? Are you using Binance? If you use Binance, what you need to do is send your UST to the BSC, okay, the Binance Smart Chain, and then once the money is there, you use the Terra bridge and you send it over to Terra from BSC, and you save a ton on gas. It's easy to do. Yeah, not difficult. So have you dived into Aurora ecosystem and Near protocol? A lot of people keep asking me about that. I don't know if they all work for Near and Aurora. I'm going to make a video about it at some point, because a lot of people have been asking. What do you think of investing in Harmony? I love a Harmony. I think, okay, again, very risky, okay? Don't put all your money on this. I think Harmony, the Harmony 1 token right now is very, very, very cheap. I think it's undervalued. So I think long term means a year, 2 year over and over. It's probably a good idea to have a little bag of Harmony 1 tokens and keep it there. Okay, just in case the Harmony network, grows like Phantom did and Avalanche did and so on. Right now, I keep my eyes mostly on Phantom, but I keep another eye on Harmony 1. So I try to have a little bit of both sitting quietly somewhere in my portfolio, and I'm not touching it for a year or 2 or 3 or more. Okay? So very speculative, very risky, but a little bit of that in my portfolio won't hurt anybody. What do you think about the Near protocol ecosystem? Another one, eventually I'm going to have a look at Near and I'll make a video, yes. And you like Near also, yeah. And you're all Russian, great. All right. All right. So, are you interested in strong block nodes? I've been earning over 100K a month for the last few months. Only this about 12. The thing is, strong nodes, I learned about it very late in the game when gas fees were through the roof. If strong was on any other networks, I might have invested in it to test it. But I looked into it, and although I think it's a real project, I think it's serious. I'm not 100% sure I understand where the revenue is coming from, and I'm worrying about that. I saw that they sold some NFTs, so that's a source of revenue. But I'm still iffy on how else they're generating the income. For me, these things have to be very crystal clear. I need to really understand how the money is made so that I understand the business before I invest a lot of money in it. Because right now it's not cheap to start a node. Okay? And I don't like the idea of me giving away my my strong tokens, never get them back, and just wait for interest to come in. A lot of people have been investing in strong, including the calculator guy, which I totally respect. I love that guy. He's fantastic. I know he's making a lot of money with the strong nodes, so I think it's legit. Okay, but I don't understand how they make the money, and that worries me a lot. Once I understand better how they make the money, then yeah, I'll consider it. But they need to be on other blockchains. Why can't they be on Arbitrum or Optimism if they want to stick to the Ethereum ecosystem? They could be on layer 2s like Optimism, at least. We would save a ton on gas fees. Because right now, it's too outrageously expensive. And the gas is just killing me. I'm not that keen on it right now. Yes. Tomb 12 has been crap. And the price seems to be going down. The bug. Is it time to move on to other projects? Again, Tomb, you have to understand, Tomb is an experimental project. The billionaire, the Chinese billionaire, Mr. Ye, strongly believes in his project, in his pet project, Tomb. Okay, and they're trying to figure out the way to help investors make profits both ways when the token is above TWAP and when the token is below TWAP. And that's difficult, okay? So all these Tomb forks are still very experimental. A lot of them are trying different solutions. There's a rebate system that Tomb and Trium are trying, and also Frozen Tomb and all that stuff. I don't know if it's going to be successful yet. Okay. Charge DeFi has been trying something as well. So we'll see. Okay. Again, those are very risky. Those are gambles. Okay. So put tiny amounts on them. At least during the expansion period, you can recuperate your investment pretty fast. But when the TWAP when the token goes below TWAP, chances are you're going to lose some money unless they figure out a way to burn the token very fast. Okay, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to come up with an automated solution for this. In Thailand, I just follow what my accountant tells me. Okay, what I know is that if I buy crypto from a Thailand exchange, okay, I pay 7% VAT on my crypto. So if I were to buy Bitcoin, I have to pay 7% tax on that. When it comes to the profits and everything, my accountant says, don't worry about it. I'm not a tax expert. I can't read the Thai tax law. It's not my job, so I pay my accountant, and hopefully she's right. Okay, so far so good. Just get an accountant, and the laws change from country to country. I have no idea. Okay, I'm not a tax expert, so I just follow what my accountant tells me. I declare whatever I declare that she tells me to declare. That's it. All right. To enforce on Aura and need. Good day, everyone. Good day. Strong block working on strong chain at the moment. They are building their own blockchain. There is no sustainable revenue. By the time it's sustainable, it will be expensive. Well, see, that's the thing. I want to see how the revenues are generated. Is it just redistribution of tokens? If it's that, then it's very much like a Ponzi. But I don't think they want to make it into a Ponzi. That'd be a really big scam. Come to Aurora, indeed. Binance doesn't... Well, why do you use Binance then? Okay, all right. So Binance doesn't have UST. All right. So you take your you use Binance, and you have MetaMask on Binance Smart Chain, right? Okay. So transfer whatever token you want from your Binance account to the Binance Smart Chain. Let's say you transfer BNB, okay, or BUSD or USDC, USDT, whatever you want. As long as you got your BNB gas on your Binance Smart Chain wallet in MetaMask, you're fine. So you transfer the assets that you say you want to transfer some money to Terra, right? So first thing you do, you take, let's say you transferred BNB, just to make it simple, okay? So you transferred $1,000 worth of BNB to your MetaMask on the Binance Smart Chain, right? Then you go to 1inch. Let's do it here. I'll show you how to do it. 1inch. Let's get there. Okay, we have to change the network. We want Binance Smart Chain. Okay, no, we want Binance. Wake up. So we've got Binance Smart Chain. Always make sure you have some BNB to pay for gas. All right, so let's say you have a lot of BNBs in your wallet. Well, you have UST right here. Okay, so you can swap some BNB for some UST. Once you have that, you go bridge .terra.money, right? See, BSC to Terra. So let's assume that I just converted my some of my BNB into Terra. So I change the token here. I change it for UST. And right now I don't have any in my wallet, so it's not going to work. But let's say I get, I don't know, 500 UST here. I can write the amount here, 500. And here I would put my destination address, which is my Terra address. And once you have that, you send it over. It costs you about $1. And then takes 5-10 minutes. And your Terra station wallet will receive the UST. At that point, you can go on Anchor and deposit it. Clear? Watch your Impermax finance video, and I think you missed a point there. I invested on the stablecoin pool and told me that the pool invested in both coin deposits are not the same. You're not making money. Any idea? I would have to look at it again. I'm not sure for Impermax. Anyway, I wanted to finish my little story here about the news today. Where are we at? So we had the fear and greed index. So there's not a lot of fear in the market regarding this. Oh yeah, we're talking about Terra. So this is an Anchor protocol. Right now, if a war gets declared this week between Europe and NATO and Russia over Ukraine or whatever, the markets are going to go pandemonium. Okay, so one of the things you can do to help save your portfolio is keep a large part of it. Okay, personally, I keep about 50% of my portfolio in stablecoin. So I have some in UST that I put on Anchor protocol, and it's earning me 19.49%. This rate has been very, very stable since about June of last year. It's always been over 19%. Okay, doesn't mean it's always going to be like that, but so far it's been very, very good. Anchor protocol is a very good project. There's about how many billions now? There's $9.6 billion invested there. So it's trusted by a lot of people, and the trust is justified in my opinion. So that's one of the places where I put my stable coins, and the rate, what's good about it is that it beats inflation. Right now, the official statistics in the US is 7.5%. So you have to try to earn over 7.5%, which you are here. Next thing I wanted to show you was Yearn. Now, you have two places where you can deposit. You have the Iron Bank, and right now the rates are not that spectacular. However, sorry, I have a thing. If you go to the vaults, you notice that the rates are a lot better. Now, DOLA, if you're not familiar with it, is also a stablecoin, and you can earn 21% on it. And you have MIM, which gives you 14.92%. That's another stablecoin. And then you have USDT at 10%, 10% for DAI. And those are the only stablecoins that beat inflation right now. Okay? So if you follow my idea of keeping a large part of your portfolio in stablecoins, this is another interesting place to put your stables. Yearn is one of the top 10 safest places to put your money in DeFi in the world right now. Okay? The guy who is behind this is a genius. His name is Andrew Cronier. He's very well respected, and his code is fantastic. Okay? Very, very good project. All right. Next one that I like is Balancer. Now, Balancer is on several networks. The one where typically we get the best rates is the Matic Polygon network. So we're switching that, launch the app. Okay, it's going to connect to Polygon. Where was it? Ethereum. I said Polygon. Come. Okay, Polygon. Yeah, the best rates are on Polygon. Also, the cheapest gas. The gas is like a fraction of a cent. So whenever it wants to display something, I'm going to show it to you. Okay, right there. So these are stablecoin portfolios. So they mix 4 different stablecoins. That's another one. This one's the best one at the moment. It gives you 12.20%, which also beats inflation. Balancer is the #1 safest DeFi protocol on the planet right now, according to DeFi Safety, which I talked about yesterday in yesterday's video. So go watch that. All right, so those are my top 3 places where I put money for safety when times are crazy and uncertain. Okay, we don't know if there's going to be a war with Ukraine, between Russia, Ukraine, Europe, NATO, whatever. We don't know exactly when the Federal Reserve is going to raise the interest rates. We don't know if Bitcoin is going to crash tomorrow. We don't know if the stock market is going to crash tomorrow or not. So when times are very, very uncertain, it pays to be prudent and to put a large part of our money in a safe place and get interest that beats inflation. This way we cover the bases. Okay. All right, let's look at the rest of the questions, and we're going to close in about 5 minutes. All right, what else we got here? Okay. All right. Yeah, Strong is like a Ponzi, which sucks now, but it's bidding on the team. They're creating EOS and confident they will create revenue with Strong Chain and other venues. So far, project alive for over a year. Yeah. I really hope they generate revenue, real revenue somewhere, because I'm not keen on investing in Ponzi's. First of all, they're illegal. Second, it's unethical. And I don't like them. I just don't like them. Because, yeah, I think the team at Strong is real, and I think they're good programmers, so I don't understand why they can't come up with something better than this. Thank you. Have you been smoking Frankfurter sausage again? What the hell are you talking about? I don't eat Frankfurter whatever sausage. How did the investment in Frozen Tomb perform? I haven't looked at it. Hopefully I didn't lose all my money yet. I haven't looked at it in the last couple of days. I've been busy making videos. You guys all know, but you know, when I make these deep dive videos, okay, like the option video that I did, that takes 8 hours. Okay, there's a lot of work involved in these things. There's like research, and I have to read a lot of stuff, and then I have to like write the presentation and in Google and all that stuff, and then I have to do the recording, and then there's the video editing, and then there's the posting, and it's like, oh my god, there's a ton of work there. Okay, I've been very busy. Okay, all right. You can make a lot of money with Ponzi's, okay? Titano is a Ponzi. If you watch my video, I explained in it that the taxes, the entry tax and the exit tax, are not enough to cover the interest that they're giving you, okay? So if the interest that if the taxes they collect is not high enough to pay for the interest that they're giving you, where is that money coming from? The money is not invested into anything that generates interest. Okay? So yes, you can make money with Titano, with Drip, with Strong, with a million other scam projects. You can. Okay? But it works for a limited amount of time. It works until people stop putting new money in, and old money takes its money out. If you take your money out within a month or 2 months or 3 months, you're guaranteed to make money with Titano. Guaranteed. But the money that you're taking it out of the pockets of your friends that are invested in this. And so if half the people in Titano today decided at the same time to take their money out, they're going to run out of money. Okay? And the next people that want to take their money out won't be able to take their money out. Okay? And that's the problem. It's not FUD, okay? FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There's no uncertainty here. It's mathematical proof. I made the spreadsheet. I showed it to people. If you did not understand the spreadsheet, that's fine, okay? But don't call me a FUDster because I don't do FUD. I tell you the truth. I look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. They tell us the percentage that they take on the way in, they tell us the percentage on the way out, and they tell us how much interest they're giving you every day. That's very simple math. I did the spreadsheet. It shows that they're giving you more than they're collecting. How can you have a business that works like that? Think about it. It's a little bit like you sell bottled water, okay? And you pay $1 for the bottle, but you sell it for 50 cents. How long is my business going to last? Not very long. I'm going to run out of bottles of water very fast. Well, that's how Titano works, and that's how Drip works. I don't know yet about Strong. I have to really deep dive on Strong to understand how it works. I don't understand Strong yet. But that's how Titano works. And that's why I'm saying it's not a good project. It's going to collapse at some point. It's designed to collapse. Some people will get rich at the expense of other people. And no, Ponzi's are not everywhere. This is not a Ponzi, okay? This website here, that's not a Ponzi, okay? Most of the good DeFi projects are not Ponzi's, okay? Bitcoin is not a Ponzi. The bank at your street corner is not a Ponzi. The bank charges you more interest on your loans than they give you in your savings account. That's how they make their profit. Titano operates at a loss. They charge you less than they pay out. How's that going to work? If a bank was lending money at 1%, okay, so they lend money out at 1%, okay, but on your deposit they give you 10%. How long is that bank going to last? Well, that's Titano. Titano operates like that. Okay? It's not FUD. That's the truth. Do the math. All right. Wonderland is not a Ponzi. Wonderland is an inflationary token. And Wonderland generates revenues outside of minting new tokens. By the way, did you notice that they stopped minting tokens about a month ago? There are no new minting tokens. Okay, so they stop all the inflation. And have you noticed that I keep saying in almost every video that I talk about Wonderland is that Wonderland generates about $1 million in profit per day from all the interest that they collect every day on all their investments? Titano generates zero interest on their investments because they have no investments. Okay? Look at the facts. Look at the facts. The facts speak for themselves. In my videos, I try to show you the facts so you can make your own decisions. You like Titano? Fine. Put all your money in Titano and good luck. Okay? I'm not saying don't do it. If you love it, do it. On Twitter, there's an account with Wonderland FII, a scam. Yeah, there's going to be fake scam Twitter accounts and Discord accounts for Wonderland and every good project out there. So be very careful. All right. So I've been sticking ADA in Bloompool to earn Sundayswap tokens. Is Sundayswap actually working? I've been waiting a year for Sundayswap to be operational. Is it operational yet? Just got here right in time for the last minute, Joey. Yeah, we're gonna have to shut down soon. Okay, people, use the right words. Okay, Wonderland is a train wreck. It's not a Ponzi. Okay? Wonderland did a terrible job, okay, at hiring the right people and at managing a PR disaster. Okay? And Wonderland got attacked by whales and sharks and all kinds of stuff, and they did a really poor job of fighting that as well. But it's not a Ponzi. A Ponzi doesn't mean a place where you lose money, okay? Grow up, okay? If that's the way you think, that's not the right word, okay? Wonderland is a terrible investment, okay? That's the truth. If you bought it at the top and you lost 95% of your value right now, yeah, it's a terrible investment. I totally agree that Wonderland is a piss poor, terrible train wreck investment. Okay? But it's not designed like a Ponzi. A Ponzi has a very special structure. And I tried to explain that in my Ponzi video, but who's watching and who's listening, right? Okay. Even though I just got here, I know not to ask about Titano as soon as you get worked up. I love it. Good one. I love it. All right. I agree. Titano is a Ponzi. Strong is unsustainable, and it's like a Ponzi, but the team recognizes this, and they are working on changing this. I really hope they are changing it. Look, Titano should build on their popularity and find sources of income. Okay? Same with Drip. Okay? They should build on all the goodwill that they managed to create. Okay? They should change the program and make it into something useful that actually creates revenues. Okay? Not just take money from this wallet and put it in that wallet, because that's what they're doing right now. That's not sustainable. It's going to break at some point. So they need to find ways. Okay? See, my point is I don't want them to fail. Okay? I want them to succeed. But right now, their design, the way it's designed, okay, it's like a car with the wheels on top. It's not going to go forward very far. Okay? I know how the structure operates. And the people that say, Titano is a good investment, and Chris, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, that's because you don't know how it works under the hood. I looked under the hood, and I know how it works. Okay? It's a car with the wheels on top. Okay? Does that give you a good picture? Okay, you can't drive a car with the wheels on the roof. You need the wheels on the floor. That's the way it's designed. It's designed to fail. Okay, all right. On Twitter, blah, blah, blah. We saw that already. You don't have to repeat yourself 10 times. Okay, I just talked about it. The revenue can maintain 80,000%. I don't know which one you're talking about. Okay, well, anyway, so Kenzo, we're all aware now that Wonderland.fii is a scam, okay? So you don't have to repeat it 20 times. You know what's going to happen? YouTube is going to block you automatically, okay? So don't do that. Is Snoop Dogg a Ponzi? I don't know. I thought he was a rap singer. Did he start a Ponzi? I don't know. I like the guy. He's cool. You should never click on a link on YouTube, Twitter, Discord. Go to the official instead. Look, if you want to click on a link, go to CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. That's where you need to go. Don't look on Google and many other bad places, okay? It's the 333 game theory thing now debunked. The 3-3 theory had major flaws, as we know this. Okay, Andrew Cronje came up with VE33, which he thinks is going to work better. So we're going to see. That's with Solidly, which just got launched. Okay, so we'll see. Maybe they found a solution for that problem. Is there any way to recover stolen coins from MetaMask? If they're stolen, they're stolen. What you can do is call the police, and if they have, if you're in the US, the FBI has a way to trace back where some tokens were sent. Okay, sometimes they can help you out. I don't know where you live, and I don't know how sophisticated your police system is. So typically the answer would be no. But Titano at 0.3, now it's 18, I mean 30,000 from 100. Well, good for you. Did you take the money out? Or is the money still inside Titano? Me, personally, I would put my money in Titano if I were to invest in Titano, and a month or two later I would take my money out and call it goodbye. Love the fact of reporting with crypto. No one is doing that daily, I know. They probably will spend already on a Lambo. I don't know who's spending on a Lambo, but good for them. Thanks for another great video. Do you think the Super Bowl on February 13 will push crypto prices up? Are you preparing for the event? I don't really follow the Super Bowl. I'm not a big American football fan. My thinking is that a lot of big crypto names are going to buy ads on the Super Bowl. So that might raise awareness, okay? So maybe, I don't know, at best, maybe a few million more people are gonna join FTX, Binance, and Crypto.com or whatever, or Coinbase. So that might push the price of crypto up. That might be a best case scenario. Anyway, gotta go. I have another appointment. Okay, so thank you very much for watching and participating in the chat room. Love this. Kenzo, don't spam. You're gonna get blocked by YouTube. Okay, they analyze everything you read and you write here. Remember that. Okay, they take hours analyzing my channel and every video I post. Okay, so yeah. Watch what you're saying in these things. Otherwise, they're going to block you automatically. They're going to think you're a spammer. All right, so that's it. Have a good night or a good day. Enjoy your time, and let's hope that there's no war in Ukraine soon.